None of us really know. None of us really know.
I know.
No, I know. Perfect timing, Keith.
Keith, what's up?
Your favorite movie of all time. F9.
Oh, good.
How is there any other choice than Remember the Titans being number one?
I'm curious.
I'm spoiling mine, but
Well, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, that's a good, good
I'm
question,
not even
Brian.
done talking.
you shouldn't be talking at this point.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Apocaflix Now. This is our main show here at Apocaflix Movies, where we hang out, talk movies, play movie games, good things like that. We got some cool stuff to talk about today. But before we get to all of that, I'm going to introduce the crew. I'll start with myself. I am your host tonight, Jacob Bartley. And before anyone asks, I am doing very well. I just, as you can see in my background, is this way? This way? Yeah, over there. I opened some brand new collectibles this week. Very, very exciting. A 6-piece set. Very cool stuff. So I had a good week so far. And we also have Gio Ramos here. How you doing, Gio?
Hey guys, sorry I missed last week. It's just been a hectic time, for a lot of workplaces. It's HISTA season. I've been well. I missed you guys. It's an exciting time, dude, for movies. These next 2 weeks are going to be so exciting. And I just want to quickly bring up this past weekend was the 7-year mark of the three of us meeting in LA.
It's weird that it turned out that the three of us are starting the show together. That is very weird,
right? It's just crazy.
Awesome.
And you guys, we have videos that go into depth about our meeting in LA. But I mean, 7 years, man, wow, crazy.
That is pretty crazy. That means, I met you like a year before that, I think, Gio, or a little less than a year before that.
About a year and a half. No, a year.
Yeah.
A year. Sorry, a year. Yeah.
Dang, I've almost known you for a decade. That's crazy. Jake Berlin, how you doing, man?
I'm better now. If I'm being honest, I had an absolutely awful day today.
Oh my goodness.
Terrible day today. I'm sure people watching probably saw my Twitter. I was
work related.
A lot of things related. It started out by my car not starting this morning.
So,
oh no.
I dealt with some car issues, and then it traveled into work. The Jeep.
Oh, okay.
And then it transferred into some work stuff, and it just was not a good day until about 5 o'clock, where I went to my workout, and I just absolutely went hard.
Nice.
I got all the anger out that had happened from today. But I'm excited tonight because I could talk some movies, even though one of the topics I may come off frustrated by. I'm still excited to talk movies.
So speculating Spider-Man gets you angry, huh?
Yeah, speculating Spider-Man gets me super pissed off. I will say to Gio about the 7-year anniversary. I know we have a lot of people who have been with us for a while. I know Rachel and Star Drew. They've kind of maybe heard the story a little bit, but I see Maddie and RD and a couple others who pop in and out from time to time. If you guys ever want to know the full story of Apocaflix, you have to go back a ways. But there's one specific video. We did a close-up of our story. It's called, if you just type in on our channel, Our Story, the video will pop up. It was actually in the car. It was us three and Keith as we were driving to LA for the 2019 Schmodown Awards. That's where we were headed. We recorded a podcast in the car in our 6-hour drive. And we broke down the story of Apocaflix and how it all started and how coincidental it was between the three of us. How we had to drive 6 hours away to meet each other, even though we lived 10 minutes between each other. It's a very cool story. Maybe we'll do it again one time.
Yeah.
But if you want to hear it, it's audio only. You can find it on podcast or on the channel. But it's a very cool listen, and it's a very cool story as well. You hear a lot of double fisting because Jacob got hammered that night.
Yeah, the night that we met, not the night of the podcast. But yeah, and
did you get hammered that night? I mean, we were in the hotel that night, so
maybe we went out for dinner that night. I believe
we did. Beers. Oh, we had great whiskey.
But it was that I remember that car ride because we talked about how it was ironic how we met Keith as well. How Gio and I met Keith, and then Brian actually called in.
Yeah, we called Brian from the car. That's
Yeah.
right.
So it was like kind of like he was calling to the radio show. So
well, speaking of Brian,
cool. Brian Avlicino, what's up, man?
Hello. I just walked in the door. I am still sweaty from volleyball.
You didn't have to jump on right away.
That's okay. Why
no
not?
Shower?
No, that's after.
Yeah.
After dinner.
Actually, we're going to be talking Spider-Man and Fantastic Beasts. Maybe you want to wait till after this because you might get a little fired up there. Yes.
So, yeah. Hi, how are we doing?
How was
Pretty
your volleyball,
good.
man?
Just get going.
We suck, but it was fun.
That's what intramural sports is all about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had a team. I think our team was about it's about like 11 people, and 5 of them that was the first time they've ever played or
no way
touched a volleyball. So
wow.
I mean,
so I know you guys don't know, but I take volleyball super serious.
I do too, and I had to like reel it in
because both my sisters played their entire lives, so I was around it forever.
My mom in high school.
I feel like I'm actually pretty good, and I like. Don't come at me on the volleyball court. I'll go full on like Jackie Moon on your ass. Like,
Jake, is there anything you're not super competitive in?
I don't know.
Probably not.
That's a good point.
Maybe something that you haven't done yet, but if you did do it, you'd be competitive at it.
I'm trying to think of what I'm not competitive at.
Figure skating.
No, I'd probably be competitive at that.
Eating contest? I don't know.
Oh yeah, right. Can you?
No, I know I would lose at eating contest. I would lose at eating contest, so I probably wouldn't be very competitive at that.
There we go. We found one.
You wouldn't be competitive in an Oreo eating contest.
No, because I don't have a big stomach. I can't eat a lot.
Well, lucky you.
But you enjoy it a lot when you do eat.
Yeah.
I enjoy the 1.5 Oreo I eat when I am able to.
Yeah. This man has like a chocolate milk and Oreo routine before he goes to bed.
I can't do that as much anymore because I'm on like a strict little workout plan right now, so I can't do that as much. I'm in wedding shape mode, y'all. Like
That's true. That's true. No
the
more
next
Costco
year. The
pizza.
next year is gonna be. The next 8 months is gonna be brutal on me. So
no thanks.
Yeah.
You got to fit in that dress, right?
I got to fit in that dress, man. I got to look good for those photos.
Well,
I gotta get a tan. I gotta make sure I'm not as white as that white dress. Like I gotta make it all happen.
You get a tan,
Brian. It's a joke for the white dress. Relax. Like
got it.
It went right over your head. It literally it went so fast over your head you didn't even see it.
Well, because I immediately thought of how white your sock tan is. So I was like, "There's no way he's getting a tan."
Wait, is it like a stormtrooper white dress? That would be pretty cool.
I mean, well, white is white, right?
Yeah, I meant like it's designed like a stormtrooper, like however it can be.
Isn't white just white? Like, I mean,
I don't know. A stormtrooper white is pretty bright.
That'd be pretty cool if there was like little. You can only see it if you look up close, where like the lacing is like shaped in some kind of like Star Wars design.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Gabby, if you're watching,
there we go. There we go.
John, you would think he's not competitive about his fashion, but notice that he purposely matched the color of his hat to his sweatshirt.
So, I had to find this hat because of it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Like, I 100%. Mean, I'm wearing.
No. That's not competitive. That's called OCD. Everyone. Yeah. That's big time different. I am OCD, ADD. I have it all. I have it all.
I lived with
it. Sounds like John was clowning on your outfit, man.
I mean, I lived with Jake, and he's
just trying to keep his ears warm. All right.
This guy, I don't care about matching. I don't like. I'm wear the colors you want, and he would just look at me and be like,
"It drives me nuts."
Honestly, I would be the most competitive about outfits.
Yeah, Jacob's worse than I am.
Yeah, I seriously, I can't. I always tell people too at work. I'm like, dude, you cannot wear those shoes with that shirt. Like, I seriously tell people that sometimes.
Well, don't live with me because I have neon orange shoes, and they're wearing in every color.
See, RD knows what's up. Drip, drip.
Hey, there we go. Apparently, we lost Gio. I don't know.
He said his Wi-Fi had to reset for a little bit, so he'll be gone for just a quick second.
Oh, at first I thought you said his wife, and I was like, what? Gio has a wife
he is.
now?
He got secretly married, and I'm the only one that knows about it.
Wow, his Wi-Fi.
He did say he was looking to move out, so who knows?
Gio got married. Jake's getting married. Jacob probably has a kid.
You know what's funny? Almost all of a lot of my close friends are engaged. They all got engaged in the last couple months.
Okay, first of all, Jacob, I will say when someone says something like, "Oh, like people are getting married," you should never say, "You know, it's funny," because then I thought you were going to say, "I proposed."
Oh yeah,
that's what I thought.
No.
Yeah,
no, just my buddy Shane, my buddy Joe, and then Jake. You guys all got engaged within like a 2-month period.
What about Gabe?
Oh, Gabe too. Oh yeah, Gabe too. Gabe, Shane, and
Gabe
Joe.
got engaged a while ago, right? That was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but still, it was all in like the past year.
Yeah,
in the past years.
Well, guess you're next, friends. Jacob.
We'll see. Okay.
It ain't gonna be me.
Hopefully, she's not watching.
Yeah. Let's just move on. Okay. Have you guys heard of this little thing we do here at Apocaflix called the Movie Watching Challenge?
No. Today it's na.
And honestly, I'm so disappointed. I failed. I failed this time. I did not watch the movie I was assigned this week. I'm a scrub. I will not be forgiven for not watching Unforgiven. All right. That's just what it is. But I am going to watch it.
There's the slightest part of me that thinks that you didn't watch this movie just so you could say,
just so I can say that.
Yes.
Or I did watch it and I'm pretending I didn't watch it so I could say that. No, I just had a really busy weekend, but I'm going to get that video up very shortly. It'll be a separate video up on the YouTube channel in the next couple days later on this week. So keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, I did challenge somebody else, and that is Brian Avalosino.
Oh boy,
we're getting back to Brian. Finally,
no, Brian, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I get a plethora of choices again. When it comes to Jake, Gio, and Keith, there's not as many choices, but this is a movie that I love, and I honestly think I feel like it would be a Brian movie as well. And there is Brian. There you go. Or there's Gio. Hold on. Gio, can I ask? Do you now wear glasses, or are those to
protect
blue light? You? Okay, blue light.
He can't see anymore after chugging that drink, but those are blue light.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are sober glasses.
Yeah. Man, we are Jake, all over the place. Where were we at?
Talking about, guys.
Jake, you need to throw on your specs. Everyone else is wearing specs. There you go.
All right, the glasses crew.
That's the problem.
Usually we're the hat crew, we're the glasses crew now. But Brian, this week, if you're not a scrub like me, you will be watching The Edge of 17.
Oh my God, this movie! Can I tell you something?
Haley Steinfeld, Woody Harrelson. Yes, go ahead, Brian.
I tried to watch this movie one time, like the first 5 minutes, and it depressed the out of me, and I turned it off.
Well, now you have to get past the first 5.
Well, looks like just ringing in the new year.
Brian, there's a lot of movies that start that way. There are. It is a very real film.
Yeah.
But it does get better. And it's actually, what year it came out, like 2017, I want to say.
I believe 2017, yeah.
2017, I would think. I think, Jacob, mistake me if I'm wrong. I think we saw this together.
We might have.
Maybe the three of us saw it together, actually.
We used to go watch everything back in those days.
But I remember watching it and going in with low expectations, but coming out and being that movie had something to say.
Oh yeah, it was really 2016.
2016. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be funny if Edge of 17 came out in 2017. But yeah, no, this movie, this was in my top 10 movies the year it came out. I really connected with it. This is what made me a huge fan of Haley Steinfeld. I seen her and stuff, but I was never I hadn't seen her in enough stuff to be a fan of her, but this made me a fan of her. And it's just it's kind of a coming of age story. So I think Brian will like it. And I know what you're talking about, Brian. The beginning is kind of sad, but it's to set up the rest of the story. And it's a feel good movie by the end of the story. So 100%. I think you'll like it.
I agree. Yeah. And her best friend Haley Lou Richardson is also an incredibly good actress as well. So
yeah, she is. There's a lot of good actors. I mean, Woody Harrelson's in it. Yeah. So
is Gio frozen or is he just so stone cold? Like,
Is he frozen?
I
he
think
is
he must be
frozen.
frozen.
I mean, I
But
was gonna say either that drink hit him so hard or he's frozen.
Oh, damn. Okay.
But Brian,
He was
another
frozen.
reason is like, we all got Haley Steinfeld on the mind with Hawkeye going on right now. So I
Some
thought it
more
was
than others.
a cool tie-in,
Yeah, works
Yeah.
for me. Does she have a bow and arrow in this movie?
I don't think so.
No, she has a blue puffer jacket that she wears every day.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
She has a little bit of a potty mouth though, so be prepared.
You're speaking to the right person.
Alrighty, so let's move on. We're gonna look out for my video on Unforgiven. That'll be up soon, and then next week come back and we'll be talking about Edge of 17 with Brian. So we do have a
volleyball game.
Yeah, if you don't have a volleyball game, but either way, eventually we'll get Brian's thoughts on the Edge of 17. But yes, it is Tuesday, which means we must have some news topics. And first up, we're going to be talking about the Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore trailer. Do they not call it?
Crimes of
Fantastic Beasts.
It's not, and there's a colon there, a double colon. Excuse me.
Fantastic Beasts, the Secrets of Dumbledore. There we go.
I told Jake the best part is that every movie that's evolved from the first one, the Fantastic Beasts on the poster gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And now it's like
they need it to be a franchise, but you don't really need that name. But anyways, Jake, tell us about this new trailer we got.
Yeah, so the Harry Potter threequel, or the Fantastic Beasts threequel, excuse me, has had a rough road to this point. It was delayed, then COVID, and then obviously the switcheroo with Johnny Depp to Mads Mikkelsen for the role of Grindelwald. With all that, the movie is slated for April, and as of last Thursday or Friday, one or the other, we got news that a brand new trailer, our first look, would be brought to us on Monday morning. If you did not see it, Brian and I did a reaction to it. That's up on the channel. You can check out our initial thoughts to it as we watched it for the very first time. But yeah, we got a full-length trailer at what this movie is kind of all about. David Yates returns to direct, who did the first two Fantastic Beasts and the previous 4 Harry Potter movies. And we got our first look at Mads in the role of Grindelwald, Jude Law obviously returning, among many others, and a lot of new faces as well, and some faces that are actually missing. Since Brian and I gave our initial thoughts, Jacob, it's only fair that you kind of start this conversation off, and we'll pick up from wherever you finish it off. What is your initial reaction to the movie that is subtitled The Secrets of Dumbledore?
So just taking the trailer surface level for what it is, I actually really liked the trailer. The first Fantastic Beasts movie, like I like Fantastic Beasts 1, Fantastic Beasts 2 is iffy, but neither of them have been great movies that we, at least us here at Apocaflix, have loved, So it's not like it was one of my most anticipated, but I always love going back to this world, which I only recently became a fan of. So I'm excited to get back, but I don't know. I think it looks good, and I think Mads Mikkelsen, they should have just casted him from the start. Like, he looks really good in that role.
It should be Colin Farrell, but if they 100% agree with you. If they never did the switcheroo, you're correct. Mads Mikkelsen is like the perfect choice for it.
Like, controversy aside, like I've been a fan of Johnny Depp in the past, but I just think Mads Mikkelsen blends in better with this world, if that makes sense. And what's funny is they didn't show him a lot in this trailer.
Who, Mads?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought we saw quite a bit of him.
Unless he's in the background and I missed him, but I didn't see him.
Not a speaking line.
Yeah, but
but Mads Mikkelsen can never sound anything other than just Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, it's true. No, but I mean, unless I missed it, I feel like we didn't see him a lot. But I mean, it is more focused on Dumbledore, whereas the last one was more focused on Grindelwald. So that makes sense.
By the titles.
But I did this with the Fantastic Beasts too, but I'm gonna give this the benefit of the doubt. It looks good. If they're talking about a war between Muggles and wizards, or is that what they call themselves? Wizards?
Yeah. I mean, Grindelwald essentially wants to wipe out Muggles. That's what he wants.
Yeah. He wants a pure-blooded
I know, like
wizard world.
maybe there was an all-out war and somehow they erased it from history. Okay, give me that if that's the case. Or if not, at least some battles. Like, I thought that's where Fantastic Beasts 1 was going. Just these grand battles, which we kind of never have seen. Even in Harry Potter,
You
they
thought
were always...
the first one was going towards that?
No, not the first movie specifically. I thought the first movie was driving the franchise in that direction. But then with the second one, I didn't feel that way as much. But I mean, I don't know how... I mean, maybe you can explain to me, Brian, how humans can even have a chance in this fight.
Yeah, the whole thing where and I forget it, Jacob, when he gets a wand,
so
that completely turned me off to the idea.
Really?
I hated that.
I honestly don't have any recollection of, and Rachel, feel free to correct me, of what happens if a Muggle tries to use a wand. I don't.
Well,
to me,
I'm guessing like somebody like Dumbledore has to put a spell on the wand to make it usable for humans. That's what I'm guessing.
I don't think you can put spells on wands. Well, because the wands, they like to say that the wand is kind of alive.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, maybe he can use it and it's just not as powerful, or he can only use it to like a certain extent.
Part of me thinks it's just going to be like he's never going to use it, and it's going to be like
it's just waving a stick. There you go. Nothing happens.
Yeah, it's just like a confidence booster or something, like, or maybe used for him to blend in. You know, like so. That's probably what it is. It's because Muggles aren't supposed to know, so he's probably going around using it to pretend that he's.
Oh, because they're going to Hogwarts.
Yes, that's probably what it is.
That makes more sense. So, okay, if that's the case, then I'm fine with it.
Okay,
I'm fine with that. But watching the trailer, I was like, why the hell is he getting a wand? Like,
that makes more sense.
But if he's getting it to blend in, then that makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean, technically, his mind is supposed to be wiped by the second one. So, okay, it was a fake. Like Rachel said, that fake wand is fake out. Yeah,
we think
there's no way. There's no way, because like Rachel said, they can't use them, and they're not supposed to know about the wizarding world unless they're married to a witch or a wizard. So, like, if he's just walking around Hogwarts, yeah, I'm a Muggle. Like, that's not okay. That's not a thing.
So I'm wondering though, is it like, why do they need him there?
That's a lot of my point. And we actually had someone comment on the reaction. I forget her name. I'll look it up after I'm done talking. She made a really, really good post that like summed up my thoughts that I couldn't put into words while we were watching it. At this point in the franchise, and we talked about it a little bit on the reaction, the movies have shifted from being a story about Newt Scamander and these fantastic beasts,
hi Harrison,
to a Dumbledore versus Grindelwald prequel series. That's essentially what it is.
Yeah,
so
that's what you and I are talking about.
At this point, these characters don't feel necessary. They feel like side characters who are trying to be thrown in the main fight, but don't feel like they need to be there.
Including Newt,
who was the main character of the first movie. And Jacob, I don't know if you noticed this or not while watching the trailer. Did you see Tina, Catherine Waterston's character?
No.
Nowhere to be found.
Interesting.
Nowhere to be found at all. Like, just disappeared off the face of the planet.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm starting to think that they scrubbed her from the trailers, which would be really weird.
I don't know.
Man. That was the woman that he was like in love with, right?
She was the co-lead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She was the co-lead of the first two movies, and her sister Queenie is still in it, which is like weird that Queenie would be in it, but she's not because her and Newt are so together, and like I don't know. It just so, and I know Brian said that he was fine with the trailer because he wants to be so optimistic about it. I thought it looked super messy. I'll be honest. I thought it looked really messy, choppy. It felt like there were so many characters that were just like felt out of place. We're meeting like 3 or 4 different characters that had never been introduced, while we already have like 6 characters as part of the main cast. It feels like they're trying to do so much in this world where they've already struggled to make characters the main part of the film. Like we talk about, Newt has taken a back seat, and it sucks because you have Eddie Redmayne playing this great character who is now taking a back seat to Jude Law and Mads Mikkelsen. And it's not his fault. It's just the story they've decided to go with. And that sucks because the beasts were the coolest part of that first movie. The idea of it being so different than Harry Potter, now it's just Harry Potter, but focused on Dumbledore and Grindelwald. That's what it is. And I know that that's exciting for people, but for me, I was looking forward to something completely different in the Wizarding world. I wanted something completely new and cool and different. And now we're just getting back into what feels like the last 4 Harry Potter movies where it's dark.
Well, not to mention
serious.
you went into it thinking you were getting the beast, and now it's like, no, we're going to completely change it. Yet we're still going to try to make it seem like we're still doing the first one.
Yeah, and I feel like they kind of, got themselves stuck in this Fantastic Beast title and franchise, and that has to be a theme in the movies. So, that scene where he's like making the little scorpion creatures go up, like I think they force stuff like that in just because they have to stick
100%.
with the Fantastic Beast
100%.
stuff.
100%.
And honestly, the goofiness with him and the animals are one of my least favorite things in all the movies.
Me too.
But that's because that's what we were originally supposed to get, and now the movies have turned into the Deathly Hallows films. They're dark and serious, and it's about killing people. This is exactly what it should have been from the very start.
100%.
They should have said, "Look, we're doing Dumbledore. This is what it's about." They should have started with the Crimes of Grindelwald, for God's sakes. The first movie clearly doesn't even matter anymore. It does not matter because the second movie was such a departure from the first one. And then this one kind of picks up, but is also kind of a little bit of a different thing. It should have just clearly been a Dumbledore prequel from the beginning. It'll
be a situation where somebody goes back and watch these and they're like, do I have to watch all of them? And you can be like, no, you can skip the first one.
You don't have to watch the first, which is so weird to say.
Right.
So for me, I'm the minority. I actually don't mind the second one. I am like Jacob, where I was put off by him being so weird all the time. And I get it. His character is supposed to be weird. He's supposed to be a loner. He's supposed to be more attached to the animals than anything. The problem for me is I like my Harry Potter story, the dark and the that type stuff.
I do too.
So I like Crimes of Grindelwald because to me it's kind of like Deathly Hallows 1 and 2, and I love those ones. Those two are those might be 2 and 3 in my favorite list. So to go from this weird one that I thought it was okay, but I kind of was put off by it to kind of getting what I like in the second one, but we're still going to try to keep the weirdness from the first one. It just, at the end of the
weirdness needs to go away.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they botched the first one. What they should have done is no, botched in the sense of,
as far as it connecting to these other two movies.
Yes,
well, they essentially erased it. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yes. What I meant to how botched, I meant it as the first one. They should have just done, let's just say 3. Do a trilogy of Newt being weird.
5.
What?
They're doing 5 of them.
No. This is what I'm saying. What they should have done. They should have done.
Just planned a trilogy.
Yeah. Just done the first one. Do 3 weird Newt movies. Fantastic Beasts. Do a Fantastic Beasts trilogy where it's just about that. When they finished, then start telling the Dumbledore story separately, get back into that Harry Potter war feel.
Agreed. And Brian, mistake me if I'm wrong, because you know Harry Potter more than I do. Isn't Fantastic Beasts one line in the Harry Potter series?
It's not even.
It's a textbook, right?
It's a textbook.
So they're basing 5 movies off of a textbook that wasn't even a big part of the series.
No,
that was their mistake to begin with.
So they basically
do one movie and then move on. Do a spin-off movie of Fantastic Beasts and then it's over and done with. That's
what I'm saying. Fantastic Beasts, they literally got to make up whatever they want because it was just all it was a book written by Newt Scamander that told of his journeys finding these animals. That's it. That's all we ever knew about it. So they could have easily just, if they wanted to do that story, the telling of that book, they should have just done the book.
This could have been the Rogue One. I'm not saying in the dark sense, but a spinoff.
Yeah.
Right? It
but then,
great.
But then afterwards, then you can start this Dumbledore because Dumbledore. I told Jake, Dumbledore versus Grindelwald is arguably the second biggest event, minus Harry versus Voldemort. So I understand you want to tell that story.
And I want to see it.
Exactly, but don't start telling the story from the point of a textbook that has like no point in like there's no major significance in the Harry Potter.
It's not even about Fantastic Beasts.
And it's and they're trying to connect something, like Brian's saying, they're trying to connect something to Dumbledore and Grindelwald that literally has no reason to be connected to Dumbledore and Grindelwald. Like Brian said in the reaction, Newt Scamander is a guy who wrote a textbook who loves magical beasts. They made him a Dumbledore spy to connect him to this story. That's what they did to him.
For me, the hardest part is like I would imagine at the very end of this, it's going to be Newt sitting down and writing this book.
So dumb.
But like
so dumb.
No, but see, here's the thing. He's not going out and researching animals.
No.
So that movie should be like he's in the forest or something, like backpacking and like looking for magical creatures.
Fighting an evil wizard. He's supposed to be fighting magical beasts.
Yeah,
we saw like a big Mama Scorpion type thing.
Yeah, his book is about him going around the world finding these mystical creatures.
He's Indiana Jones for Harry Potter.
Yeah, and
that's what he does in between the movies, and we only see like his adventures aside from that.
Jacob's onto something.
That's basically what it is.
So it just, I mean, like, it's going to be weird to me for them to wrap up this in the fifth movie, apparently, that he's going to sit down and write a book about the beasts, but nothing about him helping stop the most deadly wizard at their time with
has ever graced the world at that point.
Brian, what was the reveal we got at the end of Crimes of Grindelwald that like we don't know if it's true or not? It was whether Ezra Miller's character is related to Dumbledore.
Right? No, that he is a Dumbledore.
Yeah.
So that he's a Dumbledore. Okay.
So apparently he's Dumbledore because like that's why you see the Phoenix throughout a lot of the movie, and the Phoenix is attracted to the Dumbledore family.
And they got to throw down or what?
Well, and I brought this up to Brian.
I
brought this up to Brian, right? These movies are now focusing on a Dumbledore versus Grindelwald thing. The trailer was Dumbledore versus Credence.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm telling you guys, I don't think Grindelwald's going to be in this movie a lot. Honestly.
This is the third movie. Like he needs to
look, they're going to have him fighting Ezra Miller in this movie. And then he kills Ezra Miller, and then he goes and fights Grindelwald in the last two.
Ezra Miller needs to, and I'm not just saying this because he's problematic. His character needs to not get past this movie. If he gets past this movie, that means you're going to kill off this super powerful person in 4, and then 5 he's going to defeat Grindelwald. Like you're going to cram that. Like 4's more than likely going to be probably just setting up 5. So it's like
this is so much more frustrating than
how do you think we feel?
Like
this is just like
as long as we get $800 million, right?
They don't even make that much though.
Which one did the second? How much did the second one make?
I'll bet it made just over 300 million.
I'll look.
The first one made like 800 million though.
So I'll say over 300 million. Just over 300 million.
It made, oh my God, it has a 36% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
It made 654 million.
That's worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
So probably about 300 million in the US.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Maybe.
And mind you, the budget was 200.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's not like they made much profit with marketing and everything.
No, I doubt it. They probably marketed the hell out of this movie too. It came out in like November.
Jesus. It grossed 159 million in the United States and Canada, and
that is it.
And 495 million in other territories.
Wow. So international's carrying the franchise basically.
So
if it made in perspective, Spider-Man has a chance of making that this weekend alone.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
the US number.
Yeah.
I would think that it would be scary that they didn't even make their money back in the United States.
Yeah. Well, people are turned off by the idea. The bad reviews obviously was a big part in it, right? But also, like, they started these movies not too far after the Harry Potter movies ended, and we had 10 plus years of the Harry Potter movies. It was kind of like the Star Wars effect, right? Where a lot in a shorter period of time. It felt very similar. Also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Grindelwald like 2.5 hours plus? Wasn't it very long?
The
It was
movie?
long. It was
It was
pretty
long.
The
long.
movie was super long, and that turns people
Yeah.
off sometimes.
It was.
You know, I don't think the franchise
134
is
minutes,
dead,
so
though.
2
Like,
hours and
2 hours and
I-
20 minutes or something
they
like
got
that.
to tell the right story, you know?
100%.
The biggest flaw that, and I said this to Jake, the thing that will hold this franchise from succeeding is the messiness between 1 and 2.
Uh-huh.
If they would have advertised this from the get-go, that this, I get it. They wanted the big surprise at the end of number 1 as, oh my God, that's freaking Grindelwald. If they would have advertised from the beginning, hey, we're going to tell the Dumbledore versus Grindelwald story, people would have ate this crap up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they
like-
should have done.
They gambled on let's surprise them with Grindelwald versus being straightforward, and it backfired. Because if you're going to tell Harry Potter fans, we're going to tell the story of Grindelwald versus Dumbledore, we're going to lose our mind. That's like I said, the second biggest event to Harry Potter versus Voldemort. So people are going to automatically go, holy crap, they're telling that story. But instead, you wanted to go for the fake out in the, oh my God, there's Grindelwald.
Yeah.
But the whole entire movie, you're thinking you're going to get magical animals.
Yeah. Look, they have to make a good movie with this one, honestly, because the first 2 have mixed reactions at best and bad reactions for the second one. Like, we see all this stuff that we can complain about in the trailer, but they have to make a good movie. That's the bottom line. Like,
yeah,
whatever story they're telling, they have to make a good movie. Because if this one is received how Crimes of Grindelwald is, are they really going to make a 4th one and a 5th one?
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is not.
They're probably already shooting the 4th one. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be scary because this is going to make pandemic money. If you were making this little, if you only grossed 400 million from the last one, you ain't making that money. If we were in normal times, Spider-Man would make $1 billion like that. It would not even be a problem. I honestly wonder if Spider-Man is going to cross 500, 600. Just because
I think it's gonna make $1 billion.
It's gonna make $1 billion.
It's gonna take a while, longer than it would.
I think it'll take a little bit longer, but I think it'll make close to $1 billion.
Yeah, me too.
We'll see, but I mean,
but it's unfortunate. Like, Marvel is pretty, like, you know, they've earned the audience's trust. You know,
I'm curious to see if they said how much money they're putting into this.
Yeah,
Probably.
I mean, I don't want to like jump ahead and jump the gun, but like, if they ever decide to do a sequel series, I guarantee you it's gonna make $1 billion. If they ever do a sequel series, a sequel trilogy, or sequel set of movies, whatever the case is,
it'll just be
the first one will make $1 billion.
It'll be interesting because after this, like, you kind of not ruined. I shouldn't say ruined, even though it's kind of true. You took what you could have done in 2 separate stories, trilogies, whatever, and you now just did that. So now, instead of making more money with Wizarding World and splitting that, you took away 2 stories. So now they're going to literally have to make new stuff or find something minute or go back as far as, and I told Jake, as far back as the founding of Hogwarts. So,
or
what?
Make a series about Quidditch.
Yeah, I mean that would be it. I mean,
Come on,
is that the pod racing?
the pod
Yeah.
racing of Harry Potter. Come on.
Brian, where's your outline?
I mean, there's technically, it's funny because one of the books, so basically like one of the books that they got in Hogwarts was a Quidditch book. So it like Fantastic Beasts would be one
waiting to be made, people.
Yeah. So
I mean, there's so much you can do. There's like you can go to any decade and any time period where like Harry wasn't there, nobody we knows there, and just tell a story.
It's the same thing as Star Wars. It's you got to expand, not go inward.
I just go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go ahead. You're fine.
Yeah, Rachel, that's what it's Quidditch through the ages.
Yeah. But I'm cool with more Jude Law as Dumbledore. Like I want to see that story, but
absolutely
not with all this other stuff going on around it.
I think it would be very, very, and I don't think it'll happen, but I think it'd be very cool to maybe this is the Newt Scamander send off, right? He did his 3 movies, and then it becomes Dumbledore versus Grindelwald with some other characters.
They're gonna milk him because then
there's
they're
no reason to.
Then they have to stop calling it Fantastic Beasts. And
I mean, there's been title changes before in the past.
He's essentially a side character.
Yeah, it's for someone like me, it's just where are they going to go after this? I would assume they're going to throw buckets of money and try to get the 3 back to do the Cursed Child.
They're going to do the Cursed Child 100%.
At some point, I would imagine that they're going to throw millions of dollars at them and beg them to come back and do it.
Yep.
But it's like, do we want and need that right now? The book's fantastic.
I want to see it. I want to see that eventually. I'm not going to lie.
Give me my Quidditch story, and then we can go to the Cursed Child.
I will tell you this: that story is phenomenal, and it's written like a play. It's not even written like a book.
Well, it was a play.
That's what I mean. I'm saying the book though is literally like play scripts. It's not like written like a story. So
there's no novel. It's
yeah. So it's fantastic. I would love to see that on screen.
Unintended.
I mean, John, track record says yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely enough there to make 3. Where they go with it, I don't know. But
and this reminded me, I gotta find my Hermione wand. It's in storage somewhere, but I gotta bust that out for my background. Need some Harry Potter memorabilia. Yeah, it's just a thin stick sitting in the back. Yeah.
So,
all right. Any last thoughts, guys, on this trailer? I know we already said a lot, but anything you guys want to talk about?
I just, for the hope and sake of just the wizarding world, like I need this to be good. Like, because if this isn't, this could be a major nail in this coffin of Harry Potter because people don't want to deal with J.K. Rowling right now. Like, no one wants to deal with her crap. This is kind of honestly make or break for Harry Potter or Wizarding World, I feel like. So at least for a while, they might like put it to bed for 10 years or something, but
it's just tough because she has so much, like she basically has control over everything. Yeah. She has final say over
it's the George Lucas effect.
Yeah. So that's like, but I don't think she'll ever give away that control.
Why would she?
Honestly.
Maybe she has more money than these studios.
Maybe Warner Brothers gives her enough money. So we'll see.
We'll see.
She has more money than these studios. The way she rakes in the parks and all that. She don't need to sell it.
Yeah, we shall see. I'm just hoping they make a good movie. That's all I hope for. If not, like honestly, I love you, David Yates, for those that good Harry Potters that John did make.
I'm trying to put down here, and we're just like,
but maybe find another director for the last 2 if this one doesn't work out. Anyways. Let's move on to another topic we got here for Tuesday Newsday. Jake, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so obviously the 3 of us, as well as Mr. Gio, Keith is busy with his job because holidays kick his butt. The 4 of us will be seeing Spider-Man No Way Home on Thursday evening.
It just hit me.
With 11 other people. There's 15 of us going. We got IMAX, the first showing. Super, super psyched. So we're going to take the time the next 30 minutes of the show or so, just kind of talking about some theories, our final speculations and thoughts before we head in, maybe make some bold predictions on what we could possibly see as we walk into this movie here in a couple days. We'll definitely have a review up. Next week's show on Tuesday will be a full spoiler review. And the show is going to be dedicated to Spider-Man and possibly a ranking of the movies as well. So stay tuned for that next week. But yeah, let's just have an open floor conversation about this, guys, because this is the biggest movie that we've had in quite a while. Dune was obviously really big, but this is Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man's one of the, if not the most popular character out there, both film, comics, even shows with the cartoons.
I would say between him, Batman, and Superman.
Yeah, it's always those three. And so, and obviously with all the speculation and rumors about what this movie's about, we already know that Doctor Strange is in it. The possibility that this could be bringing back the previous two Spider-Men into this universe. We already have Doc Ock, we have Green Goblin, we have Electro, we have Sandman, we have Lizard. Let's just kind of open the floor, kind of talk about some things we're excited about, maybe some things we're worried about, make a bold prediction. Who wants to start us off?
I do want to say really quick, people in the chat, I have been like avoiding stuff as much as possible. I don't know anything about the movie. So 2 things, please don't say anything that you may have heard or stuff that you know is 100% confirmed.
Yeah, don't talk about any of the reviews yet. We're staying away from it. No, like, new, like, we're just having, like, this is a conversation.
I have 80 words muted on Twitter right now.
I turned off all my social media notifications for everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys, who are watching. We're having an open conversation like this could have happened a month ago. I think the movie that's coming out in a month, that's what, but we just want to kind of have, our final conversation before we head in the movie, because we want to go in as blank as we possibly can.
But also, to that point, everything that I say is pure speculation. Like, I have no idea other than the stuff I've seen in the trailers.
That's why we kicked Gio off, because he's the one who knows.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I would have just been smiling the whole time. Like,
yeah,
he's probably watching in the background.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that.
I would die if that name was mentioned, and even in this movie. Just like, really, Spider-Man's the one you're going to bring.
Okay, so what's the first thing we want to talk about? We've talked a lot about this movie, obviously, but maybe, like, so what's one thing that we want to talk about that we're very excited about, or we're really looking forward to? Jacob, Brian, you guys got anything?
So the one thing that I keep talking to my friends about is they have to do Sinister Six, right? Okay. They're not going to have 5.
It's the Fatal 5, Brian.
Yeah. I mean, you could do that, but
it's not going to be that.
I know, but it's like, for me, I've been talking to my friends a lot. One of my friends is obsessed with Spider-Man. It's who's going to be the 6th?
It's not Doc Ock. I can tell you that. I think Doc Ock.
So Doc Ock's not even a member of.
I think Doc Ock is working with Spider-Man.
I do too, but he's still going to be considered one of the 6. Like,
I don't think so.
Okay, then you need 2 more people. Then
I do think that we're gonna get Vulture back. I think Vulture makes sense. Makes sense. He's a previous villain, and the only villain we don't have a single Tom Holland villain in the villains that are there. It's all previous villains.
Well, and it can't be Mysterio.
No, it can't be Mysterio.
One from another world.
It could be but then they would have to explain all of that, and that may take a little time.
Well, we don't have to explain any of the other ones, really. I mean, all we know is they all died fighting Spider-Man, right? You could say this other Mephisto. I mean Mysterio. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I guess you're right. They could, because from what we understand so far, and we don't know, they get pulled from their universe before they die. So Doc Ock in the water, right? In Spider-Man 2, or Green Goblin before he's going to get stabbed or something, right? With Mysterio, he could get pulled before that bridge scene in Far From Home. But I also feel like they might stay away from him because he's the most recent.
Maybe.
I feel like Vulture would make sense, even though he didn't die. My whole thing with
Mysterio is, like, he's just gonna, and honestly, in either of the Tom Holland villains, it's gonna be like, we have some Tobey Maguire villains. There's a couple there. We have some Andrew Garfield villains. There's a couple there. They all know each other. And then it's like, Who the
It
hell is
could
that
be
guy?
a villain that we meet in this movie.
Well, and that's
too.
here. There we go. Do we think we get a new villain?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's
they already did Shocker. No Shocker, right?
Well, so that's a good question because Brian's talking about the 6th character, right? And
I would love for it to be the Shocker guy that died.
but it's like a
The guy
different
for
version.
Upgrade. I would love for him. to
his
come
name
back.
is Logan Marshall Green.
I
Logan
would
Marshall Green.
love for
Oh,
him
the
to
guy
come
that
back.
Vulture kills, right?
That's very possible. It's very possible because so think of it this way: in the 2nd trailer, I think the official one, Doctor Strange said they all died fighting Spider-Man. So if we take that into account at the
Yeah, but he didn't die fighting Spider-Man.
So what I'm saying is if we take that into account as straight as we can possibly see it, that means that they have to be characters who died fighting Spider-Man. So who else is still available? Because if I remember correctly, Sandman didn't die fighting Spider-Man.
No,
yeah,
right?
he did. Didn't he dust away?
Sandman dusted off through the city. He disappeared.
Yeah,
but
but
they
didn't
could.
he get like?
No, he
wet?
just
I don't
dusted
know.
his way off through the city.
So they could say him and Toby fought later on, and he died fighting Spider-Man.
And maybe that's what they do with someone like Vulture, or maybe that's how they bring Mysterio in, right? Because he did technically die.
We got to
fighting
remember
Spider-Man.
they could Electro isn't the same Electro that we. It's not literally the same Electro from Andrew Garfield's movie,
or is it?
It's a
I think it
variant.
is.
Well, why does he look so different?
I think it is. I think it's been explained.
So his powers changed.
Isn't he saying in the trailer like you're not going to
take this away from me
or something?
So,
and also people are talking about how the blue version of him could have just been like an initial evolution,
maybe
like his initial reaction to it all, and then this is how he shifts into pulling the power a little bit more.
Okay, well,
kind of like how the Hulk can eventually like switch back and forth.
Yeah, like Hulk to Professor Hulk.
Yeah.
Okay, so here was my theory before people start throwing it into the chat, which Maddie kind of did. Could it be Ned?
I mean, it's possible.
Because
as a hobgoblin,
there is a story in Spider-Man that he gets brainwashed for a little bit and becomes hobgoblin. Now, I get it. He's not a full-blown villain to be a Sinister Six, but it's still a Spider-Man villain. Like saying it's the Hobgoblin.
I just think that might be a really weird thing to throw in this movie.
But how's he gonna fight Spider-Man? Like, I don't know.
Ultimately we haven't really gotten to a conclusion here. I mean, if we go by past villains from the Spider-Man movies, past villains, the ones we have left are Topher Grace's Venom,
Rhino.
Okay, who are we considering is or go ahead first. I was gonna say who are we considering
Topher Grace's Venom?
Yeah.
We have Harry Osborn from this Raimi trilogy, right? Even though he kind of came good, he also was a slight villain.
Yeah.
They could do it that way if they really wanted to. Rhino, so Paul Giamatti from Amazing Spider-Man 2. Vulture, who didn't die. Shocker, is that his name? Shocker, right?
Shocker, yeah.
Shocker, and then Mysterio. So there's 6 left.
Or Tom Hardy's Venom.
Don't do that.
I don't want it, but you have to put that up there.
Okay, so there's 7 left if we include him. And at this point, let's say that Doc Ock is a member of them.
That's what I was going to ask. Who are we considering a member already? So we have Sandman, Green
Lizard,
Goblin,
Electro, Goblin, and Ock. Those 5.
Harrison,
I think Scorpion. That's right.
Yeah, I just don't think there's enough to go off of with
Scorpion. Oh, is Scorpion in the movie?
He's in a post-credit. He's part of. He's in
I know who he is. He's the guy who that Vulture meets in jail at the post-credit scene, right? Yeah. But is he in this movie? Do we know?
We don't know. No.
Okay. I honestly, I could see him. I think he'll be part of it. I mean, that would make sense, right? They already introduced him. That led nowhere.
I give like a 0.01% chance that Kingpin is one.
I agree. Kingpin's not in it. He's on it. And,
it's like 0.01.
There's no
nobody would care if Scorpion's is the villain.
That's
I don't think it's big enough.
And Kingpin also wouldn't make sense on how big these villains are because he's really just a backer when it comes to stuff like this. Like maybe he's supporting them, sure, but from what we know with like if everything with Hawkeye comes true, then it doesn't make sense.
And ultimately, Kingpin's just a man.
Realize in 4 hours you could potentially have Kingpin back.
Yeah, but Kingpin's just a man. And I know he fights Spider-Man in the comics and stuff, but in reality, Spider-Man would take him out easily.
Yeah.
So
he's definitely a Hawkeye / Daredevil villain in the MCU.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, look, I think this is a perfect chance to bring someone like Vulture back. He still kind of have a little bit of a vendetta. Maybe he gets an upgrade.
I hope it's not Morbius.
We've seen these characters getting the upgrades, right, with like the Stark tech. Like imagine Vulture with some Stark tech upgrades. Could be really cool.
I mean, it'd be stupid, but they could use the second version of Shocker because I mean he's still alive and out there. But it's possibly like whatever.
I also wouldn't mind it being someone that we have no idea.
Prowler.
No, I don't think it'd be Prowler.
No, and they wouldn't. They're saving him for Miles Morales.
Look, I think honestly, whether you guys want it or not, I think somehow, some way, Tom Hardy's Venom is going to be involved.
I do too.
Whether that means as a villain or as working with him. Some way.
I don't think that needs to happen if the other two Spider-Men are there.
That's my
honestly, maybe not. Like maybe it's a post-credits
and Doctor
scene.
Strange. There's 4 of them already.
You think Doctor Strange is going to be in the end fight?
No, but he's going to be holding everything together. You know, he's still going to be there lending a hand.
Yeah, in a way.
Did you hear that Cumberbatch is getting $7.5 million just because this movie is already projected to be good? Like they already just gave him $7.5 million.
I mean, but that's way less than
on
what
top
Downey
of his
got.
Initial salary.
On top of his initial salary.
That's way less than what Downey got for the Homecoming role.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not going to increase it.
I mean, look,
have points on the back end or something.
Rachel, Spider-Man does not have
Madame Web.
Many.
I was thinking that too,
Madame
but
Web.
there's not a lot.
Yeah, you have Madame Web.
I want Madame Web so bad.
So do I. Black Cat is
Silver Sable.
Silver. Again, anti though. There's not a lot of like full blown female.
Hey, honestly, I wouldn't count out a version of Prowler. I mean, if you think about it, like the reason why I kind of like sigh at someone like Prowler or someone who maybe is new is the whole movie is essentially based on the multiverse cracking and these villains and these characters all coming into one spot. So why not get someone who we've seen before?
I personally don't think that a Tom Holland villain will be in this.
Which I think that's kind of a missed opportunity because when is the other chance you're going to bring back Michael Keaton's Vulture? Like when?
I'm just curious how it happens. Is it like whoever decides, oh, we got to round up all the villains and go after Spider-Man? Like, how do they pull Vulture? And he's like, oh shoot, these guys are going to kill Spider-Man. I gotta join.
Maybe they find out, they learn about this Spider-Man, they learn who he has fought, and Vulture was one of those dudes.
Yeah. Like he's in prison because of Spider-Man.
That's what I'm saying. Like he is there because of Spider-Man, and someone like Green
someone
Goblin
gives him an upgraded suit.
That's what the Stark Tech Vulture suit. Like I'm saying, it's kind of
but
fits the mold.
The one who would be responsible for all this to round them up and give them all new tech would be Doc Ock.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then he wouldn't.
Don't count out Harry Osborn.
Or, you mean Harry Osborn?
Oh, sorry, not Harry Osborn. Norman Osborn. Sorry.
Well, yeah. I mean, Norman Osborn for sure, but
I hope, honestly, like I know we've had a lot of Harry in both movies, but I hope he meets a Harry in college.
Did you see who Tom Holland wants to play him?
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh.
Timothy Chalamet already said that he will never do a superhero movie.
Yeah,
he said,
"Why?"
I forget what his quote was. He's like, "There's 2 types of movies I will never make. Well, was one, and then a superhero movie.
That's fine. Whatever. He's making great movies like Dune and stuff, so it's okay.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
But he doesn't have to shit on comic book movies.
That's not necessarily shitting on him. He just
he's saying he's too good for them.
That's not. Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
I wouldn't say he's saying he's too good for him. I just think it's kind of like a little bit.
Some people just don't want to do them.
Like turn my nose. I'm a little bit better than.
Like some people just don't want to do them, which is fine. Nobody should take it personal.
Yeah, Maddie. Pretty much everyone when they were like, him for Osborn. Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah,
aside from
that
all
would
the
be
villain,
cool.
aside from all the villain stuff, what else is something that like we're kind of and chat? Feel free to maybe bring up something that we can talk about. What is something else about this movie that we can like really dive into? I know that we don't really know a lot at the moment, but
Don't want to know.
I mean, of course, but
I'm just
what is-
there's 12 people now, so I'm just,
yeah, I know. Someone brings something up that we can talk about that maybe we haven't mentioned.
Well, look, I think maybe you guys and other people in the chat already know for sure whether or not Toby and Andrew are in this.
I don't
Nothing's
know
been
for
confirmed,
sure, but
Jacob.
I
just
honestly
nothing.
don't know for sure.
You
So
know,
if you
nothing's
guys
been
don't know for
confirmed.
sure, do you
Nope.
guys think they are?
Yes.
Yes.
A
Yeah, so
1,000.
do I.
1,000%. I will.
Yeah.
I will. You can cut my right arm off if they're not in this movie.
I know, me too. Like,
They are in this movie.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's-
no, I agree.
100,000%. They're in this movie.
Unfortunately, I
It is
think
the worst kept secret.
Yeah. Well, because people are going psycho over this. Like, it's
Because
insane.
it's literally our childhood coming back.
I know, but like, to the
it's
point
not
of
fair to
harassing
Toby and Andrew.
Garfield. Yeah.
It's not fair to them because if they are in it, why are they gonna say they are? They can't.
Okay, here's something I would like to go for. I get the not so much the killing.
She's not
Do you-
dying. She's not dying.
No. Do you think we see Kirsten Dunst?
No.
No.
I think it'd be too much. I think just
Do you think
bringing
we see
him
Gwen
in.
Stacy?
No.
Okay.
No.
I think bringing them in is just enough and them telling their stories of what happened. And we don't know at this point if Andrew Garfield gets pulled in before she dies or after she dies.
Well,
because they can
I
get pulled in
can't-
different
I can't
times.
remember.
The villains could come first, and then the Spider-Man could come later on. So
Gwen dies before a lizard, so that would make sense. But I don't. No.
Gwen dies in
After.
Spider-Man 2 with Electro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Lizard is the first one.
I forget. Yeah, I mixed that up.
Yeah. So
they could
we
be
don't. We
being
just don't
pulled
know.
from any time with
Yeah, and also like say, like, for example, say Green Goblin gets pulled in at the 47th minute of the movie, right? Like that's the first time we see him. And say Tobey Maguire gets pulled in at hour 30. That doesn't mean that it took place 45 minutes after Green Goblin got placed. That he could get pulled in at any point in time because that's how the universe timelines work. He could get
Can
pulled.
you
from any
imagine?
point.
It would be so just out of the pure like. I just am an agent of chaos and would love to see it. Can you imagine if they weren't in it?
Well, that's what Jane just said.
Oh, really?
Said
Where?
it would be really funny if they weren't in it though.
That I honestly like the small. I didn't see that, Jane. That you read my mind.
You can star comments now, Brian.
Look, I want to see them, but
I
I'm
didn't
not
see
going to
it
be
at all.
mad. I'm not going to be mad if they're not. To be
I
honest.
am. No, I'm just kidding.
I at
like-
this point, I'm just kind of like, would you rather see them or would you rather see Daredevil?
Daredevil.
Come on, like, what do you mean? Like,
Daredevil.
does
I
that
Would
told-
you rather
I-
get a
I
movie
told-
with the two Spider-Man that you grew up with, or would you rather get
Daredevil.
Daredevil because he's going to continue in the
Daredevil.
world? They're just going to be in this movie only.
I told
Wow.
Dylan because Dylan's gonna come with us on Thursday.
Oh,
he filled-
fun.
He filled the spot. I told him, I go, you need to bring me diapers because you're literally gonna see my shit myself if I see Daredevil.
Yeah,
Like that.
Well,
That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
I think that's a lock.
Dude, I'm gonna lose. My
I mean,
damn
it's
mind.
just going to be a
Well, then-
cameo. But
I don't
doesn't
care,
matter.
Jacob. I
Yeah.
don't care.
No, I'm gonna be stoked. I mean, honestly, knowing that he's gonna be the MCU's Daredevil already is like, I wish that would be the announcement, right? Seeing it for the first time, and if he's in the movie, but it's still gonna be really, really cool.
I just can't wait to see him and Echo interact because that's going to be interesting. Because like he's
Well,
not
they're-
going to be able to see her do sign language,
Uh-huh.
and she's not going to be able to hear him speak. So,
I think he'll be in her show.
100%.
He'll be in his show in some capacity. I think that it's like the obvious choice of him being the lawyer for Peter Parker. I almost feel like it just happens and it works
Yeah,
because I feel like ultimately that's probably going to be a somewhat small part of the movie is the whole lawyer aspect of it all.
Oh, small. I think it'll be the whole first act. Because I mean, the whole world knows he's Spider-Man. He's got it. Technically, he's like a criminal.
Could you imagine?
Could
you imagine?
Hilarious.
You know who? Wait! Oh my God! Wait a second.
If I swear to God,
who
if you say
played
Nick
Foggy
Cage,
Nelson in Ben Affleck's Daredevil?
I don't even.
Oh,
remember.
Jon Favreau.
A happy Hogan variant.
Okay.
That would be hilarious.
Do you guys think Happy's dying? I think he's dying in this one.
I think there's a chance he dies. Yes.
I think for sure he dies. Okay.
I'm not going to give 100%, but I think there's a chance he dies. I think someone does have to bite the dust. I do.
Do you think one of the Spider-Man will die?
I've been saying this for a little while. I think Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Oh my God!
And I think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man continues, and we see him. And I think Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man has the hero death, and
that would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
No,
because
no. If it's the last time we're gonna see him, regardless. Like if he makes a big sacrifice, we're saying Tobey Maguire is gonna be, old man Peter Parker. He's gonna be the Logan of this movie.
I do think I think as much as it would hurt me, it would make sense for the story if there was kind of a death like that, almost in a way like a passing of the baton.
I don't think it's going to be Happy though. Or you're talking about Spider-Man's. Yeah,
like and I know that we just did the Tony thing, and like Tony to Peter's obviously like a big deal, but
no one's safe around Tom Holland.
No, not at all. But like I mean, it can go either way, but I think in my mind, and I don't know what the story is, but I think it would really work if one of them were to die and one of them did continue on, maybe for like another movie too. Because look, remember, Multiverse of Madness is technically a sequel to this movie. We could see reoccurring characters from this movie go to that movie, so it's very possible.
All I know is I'm
gonna bring Gio back because he's
Jake on my right side.
There we go.
Jacob on my left side.
Hi, buddy.
So I can be just encompassed in the nerd.
I'm gonna lose my shit, to be honest. Just this whole entire movie. I can't believe it's 2 days away.
2 days, Jacob. 2 days from right now, we'll be sitting down and
away.
watching Green Goblin and Spider-Man going back at it.
I'm going straight from work. It's gonna be awesome.
Don't be late.
Yeah, I'm not waiting around.
Well, I wasn't late last time, so we're good.
I'm saying.
No, when we do the movies early, I go straight from work because I get off at 6.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Gio,
I swear to God, the universe is trying its hardest tonight. Like,
I realize what it is, Gio. They don't want you to spoil the Spider-Man No Way Home for me. That's what
Bro, I mean, I don't even know as much as maybe I'm leading on to believe, or you guys believe.
Gio's already read the script.
No. Okay. Somebody in here mentioned Happy Hogan. Did anybody talk about Happy Hogan?
I said I think he bites the dust.
And I agree.
Oh yeah, he dies. It's in the latest trailer.
I think so too.
Well, it's not in the latest trailer. It hints at it, yes.
He's in the car. It's nighttime. A pumpkin bomb drops and a big explosion happens. I mean, what it would mean for William Dafoe. This is how much they want us to hate his character, as brilliant as the actor is. If he kills Happy Hogan, literally one of the MCU OGs, someone who has been here since 2008. We're talking 12, 13 years ago. I'm a little tipsy with whatever. But like, man, like, oh my God. And then like, William Dafoe, you guys.
Wait, so a new trailer came out?
No, Jacob, this is in the original trailer. This scene is actually in the original.
I know what you're talking about then.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think they can kill Happy unless you're going to bring him back after Multiverse of Madness. None of this stuff happens because look, Peter Parker lost his Uncle Ben. He loses Tony Stark, his other father figure. He finally has another father figure. They're going to kill his third father figure.
The argument I was going to make is that the reason that they probably won't kill Happy is because they killed Iron Man.
Yeah,
killing them both would be a lot.
But
that would
honestly,
be a lot.
I don't think Aunt May's safe. in this movie?
I don't know either, Jacob. I thought the same
That's
thing.
going to be heartbreaking.
Well, we haven't seen her. Have we seen her at all? In the
Yeah.
trailer?
A little bit, yeah.
It's like right after the scene of the bomb getting thrown at Happy. It's
So we all
remember she's
agree.
like he's like reaching and right.
I think that Aunt May. I mean, I could see why people may think that, but I think the Aunt May thing might. I think the story is so big to kind of like almost push her to the side a little bit. Because remember, he's dealing with Doctor Strange and he's dealing with Doc Ock and like all of these characters. Like I think Aunt May might take a little bit of a backseat. As much as I don't want her to, I think she might take a little bit of a backseat in the movie.
The fact that Marissa Tomei had to say that she had to tell her therapist because it was too much.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot wait. That hyped me up more than probably anything.
Well, look, with all this multiverse stuff going on, anything that happens can kind of be undone eventually, I think.
No,
So,
but see, that takes away from the
unfortunately.
state.
I don't think that'll happen.
I agree, unfortunately, because we've gotten to a point to where literally anybody can come back. Gamora back. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if ScarJo came back at some point. You know,
She gone.
I mean, I don't know. Her and Disney.
I put my money on she's going to direct a Marvel movie soon.
Yeah. Well, she's producing one.
Yeah.
Look, hey, Brian, I'm telling you, you do a Disney Plus series based on the Black Widows that survived, and like she's kind of the showrunner, executive. Bro, I'm telling you, that's perfect fitting right there.
Do that story with Yelena.
Yelena has plenty of MCU ahead of her in her future.
Oh,
she got, you don't need, huh?
No, I agree.
Yeah, we about to see her tomorrow.
Real quick, maybe even the last kind of little tidbit here we talk about. This came
Gio,
from John.
if we actually see her, I'm gonna be pissed. Because
I don't know.
it.
Sorry, Jake. Go ahead.
Why would she not?
Okay, that's off topic. I'm gonna go back to a comment. John brought up a topic we can talk about here. I'm super confused about Doctor Strange. In the trailer scenes, he just doesn't seem to be the character we know. Could he be a Skrull or multiverse Doctor Strange? I mean, we talked about it after the very first trailer, but then I think we all agreed that after the second trailer, he felt a little bit more like Strange because we saw a little bit more of what was happening.
He still feel that
pissed
off.
Yeah.
The first one, I thought he was fake. The second one, I was like, oh, no, he's just pissed.
Agreed. I think I'm leaning that direction a little bit more because it seems like they're working together too. And Peter has the magic suit, right? The sorcerer suit at some point, which will come from Doctor Strange, obviously.
I'm going to be so mad when you're right over that damn box that traps them in the thing. I know that it's right, and it pisses me off.
Brian, this is what I'm going to do. When it happens, I'm going to lean over and do this.
Hey,
I'm going to be sitting next to you, so you could just give me one of those.
The trailers already confirmed it, though.
But I said it weeks and months before the trailer.
Jake said it like the second we watched the trailer. He's like, I think they trapped them in the box. And I was just like, no. And now it's like, damn it. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Hey,
well, I mean, does it really matter? Like,
no. Jacob, it does matter, though. It does.
For his ego, it does.
Well, first of all, real quick, I just want to say, I thought Gio was saying we're going to see Yelena in No Way Home. That's what I thought he was saying.
No.
Yeah, he meant it on Hawkeye.
My bad.
We'll see her in something else. But
Gio, just
real quick. I just want to. I got some legitimate questions that I want answered in No Way Home. I'll rapid fire 20 seconds.
Go ahead.
I want to know how Jamie Foxx is Jamie Foxx and not blue Jamie Foxx. You know, from
kind of talked about
Spider-Man
it earlier
too.
I don't know how he's going to turn, but maybe he touches an electric pole.
Well, like I said, I think there's a possibility. I'll give it like a very small possibility that the blue, like they're gonna, and it can be considered like a cop out reason, but the state we saw him in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 was like the first evolution of his like he was Charmander in that movie. Now he's becoming Charizard.
You're using a Pokemon.
Wait, no, it makes sense.
He's gonna be evolving, and this is his final evolution.
So they're gonna go the X-Men Days of Future Past route, where in Days of Future Past, we saw Nicholas Hoult, and he contained his power in. Right?
Why not?
That's not bad.
Exactly.
I can go
No,
with that.
That's just a reference.
Yeah, I think that's
That's
good. That's a
fair.
great reference, actually.
I could absolutely see that.
I'm buzzed, so we go.
No, I mean that's a
Gio,
good
you're a lot more fun when you're buzzed.
Yeah.
I'm buzzed. I'm trying to make the best of tonight. And another prediction I have. I don't know this, but like they said in the universe, the villains die, but we know that's not exactly true, right? We saw Sandman. Sandman kind of flew off sort of into the sunset, sunrise, whatever it was.
See, now I think he's dead because like that sand probably went everywhere.
No,
like,
he flew off, Brian. Watch
maybe.
Again. So this is what I think
flew
happened.
into the ocean.
If he
flew into the ocean, then he's screwed.
I think that scene where he said they all died fighting Spider-Man comes after Goblin and Doc Ock arrive in the universe, when just them are there, because technically they died fighting Spider-Man. Right? Or maybe we find Lizard, right? Because Lizard died fighting Spider-Man, not Sandman. Electro technically died, but officially, like, he could actually go inside all of the electricity and stay alive. I think the scene takes place after the dead villains come back and we see them, and then we see that Sandman arrives and Electro or someone else.
So I think that Sandman died in a separate occasion off screen.
You know what I mean, RD, I know.
So just because we didn't see Sandman die fighting Tobey Maguire doesn't mean in that world the world continued. Maybe they fought again later on. And
what if we see an action scene where Tobey is fighting Sandman and they actually shot it for the movie?
That would be
Wait a minute. We're getting way too ahead of ourselves.
Toby, I still think Toby's not in this movie. At the end of the last one.
Gio, you don't think Toby or Andrew is in this movie?
Fuck no, they're both in this movie. They're both in this movie. Hey, but my theory, and I don't know this, my theory is I think Norman Osborn, William Dafoe, is kind of manipulating a few of them and not telling the truth and bending the truth. I don't know.
Wait, manipulating who?
The other villains.
I would say again, these villains. The last time we saw them, they weren't entirely evil or even bad. Like Sandman,
I mean, Green Goblin was.
Like Doc Ock, like he said, brilliant.
You're right.
But
I mean, you're right.
Like a few of them, But we'll see about Electro, and there's got to be a sixth villain.
That's what I've been saying.
That was the first thing we talked about.
Yeah, we spent a long time talking about that. Gio, quickly, who do you think the sixth villain is? Do you have an idea?
I think it's Rhino. I think, look,
wow,
say what you will about
really?
Paul Giamatti's Rhino. Hey, no. Hey, say what you will about Paul Giamatti's Rhino. Marvel is gonna do him right. They're gonna make him look fucking cool. They're gonna
they did it with Electro.
This is how they do it. Paul Giamatti is a capable actor. Come on now, he's a great actor. Stop.
And here's the thing with Gio's logic here, that would make it 3 Raimi villains and 3 Webb villains.
I mean,
it does
the most sense.
That tracks.
It makes the most sense outside of Venom, which I
mean, it's there. It was the last time we saw Andrew Garfield in a Spider-Man movie, right? It was the last time we saw him. He was fighting Rhino in the very last scene of Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Right.
It tracks.
And what does Garfield say? There's no place like home. Literally, watch the scene on YouTube after this. There's no place.
Oh, they've been planning it since then.
No, Kevin Feige, man. That's just, hey, look.
That's a good call, Gio. I don't think we even mentioned that when we were talking about it, but that's a really good call, honestly. I hope they alter him just like they did for Electro.
They will.
I think they must, right?
They will.
Do you think he's going to be a mechanical Rhino or like a Hulk Rhino?
I think he'll be a mechanical Rhino.
That mech suit was badass.
The mech suit is very cool, but they need to dumb down the Russian side of it all. Like
they need to not make him a joke, like with his heart underpants and stuff.
Like, agreed. And he can't like talk the way he was in that movie. Like, it was
If they made him, if they,
he can have the accent, but just tone him down.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, like Gio said, the suit is dope.
It's a dope suit.
I don't need to see heart underpants and the like I'm the Russian. Like, it's just like, come on. Like, no, stop.
Yeah. No, honestly, yeah, that's one I did not think of. Okay, guys, so we do have to wrap this up here in a little bit.
Yeah,
but I want to get everybody's, final last bold prediction or last comment on the film. Let's go to Gio first.
You know what we should guess? What the end
What?
credit scene is.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
It can be anything, though. That's the
I
thing.
think it's Scarlet Witch.
Well, yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna
That
make
makes
sense in
sense.
the multiverse. That
That makes sense. Yeah.
Brian's right. It's gonna be Scarlet Witch for sure.
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
honestly, that was all it is.
Final thoughts. Okay, I'm gonna split this. All right, I'm gonna split the audience into thirds. Right, 1/3, 2/3 of this audience is gonna feel nostalgia unlike anything they've ever felt before. It's literally gonna be seeing characters that we thought we were never gonna see again, for movies we never thought would be relevant again as far as MCU goes. So for 2/3 of the audience, I'm talking about people our age, maybe a little bit younger than us, but older. It's going to be very emotional. It's not going to be your typical Spider-Man MCU movie. We're going to get a blast from the past. It's going to be our childhood all over again. And for me, that's what I'm the most excited about. I'm not the biggest Tom Holland fan. I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan as far as Far From Home and Homecoming. They're successful movies, all the credit in the world. But for me, it's the OGs, seeing them on the big screen again. William Dafoe, Rufus Fiennes, maybe Paul Giamatti, Jamie Foxx, Thomas Hayden Church, Alfred Molina, Toby, Andrew. Oh my God. Like, all the signs are pointing to them being in the movie. And the moment that happens, I think all of us are going to be feeling some type of way. And I'm just thankful.
Might pee my pants. I might pee my pants. Just
All right,
imagine,
Brian.
imagine hearing that original Spider-Man theme too.
Oh my God, the names.
Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna hear it. We got it.
I would just like, before I give mine, one quick thing. Yes or no, Gio? Does one of the OG Spider-Man die?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Who do you
the
think?
point.
Who do you think? Toby. Jake thinks Toby.
They're not gonna kill Andrew after Gwen died. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if that is true, and again, I don't know. Okay, I've read some rumors. I don't fucking know. But if it's true, I hope it's done better than Han Solo.
Oh, that's
okay.
weird. That's rude.
Anyway,
random.
What am I doing? What am I predicting?
Last bold prediction.
If you have one.
Any final thoughts?
Bold
in
prediction.
Anticipation. Or just something you want to see, whatever.
I'll throw out that there's a character coming that we have no idea wasn't on our radar. That's my bold prediction. Maybe like a brand new character that we're going to go, what?
Yeah.
I mean,
Scorpion?
I'm not talking like Daredevil. I'm talking like
a
whole new comic book character at the very end.
You're probably going to be right. I mean, there's a good chance of that.
Yeah.
How about you, Jake?
This will be the best live-action Spider-Man movie.
Oh, duh.
Ooh.
That's a bold prediction.
I love that Gio's internet cleared up perfectly right at the end.
Over
That
Spidey
is
too?
a bold prediction. Yeah. Interesting.
Over
we'll
Spidey too?
see.
Yes, over everything.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 3 Spider-Mans in the same place. That's a pretty big deal.
The only reason I wouldn't, like Jake said, we just saw Jake Gyllenhaal in the movie right before this. So if anybody ever watches these movies as a trilogy, like you get him in this movie and that movie. But I think we could see a variant version of Mysterio as one of the villains. That's going to be my bold prediction. I think I'd be down for. Hey, it's Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Yeah,
so
all over the board.
Yeah.
I think we'd all be down for that.
You know, it would be really interesting if he wasn't like he really was from that second Earth, just playing along.
Oh,
that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, he wasn't wrong, right? He was just
yeah.
There is a multiverse.
Yeah.
All right, so that should do it for this episode of Apocaflix. Now, the next time you see us, the next time you see our faces, we will have seen Spider-Man No Way Home. Cannot wait.
Well,
No,
the next
I
time
guess
you
that's
see us
not
on
true.
Now.
Yes. The next time you see us on Now. Yes, because we will be doing Marvel Rewind, which we haven't talked about.
And hopefully,
much.
Jake
I think we're gonna probably try to do it tomorrow because of Spider-Man on Thursday, but we're gonna talk.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm off tomorrow.
Okay, there it is.
So
Marvel Rewind tomorrow.
Keep an eye out for Marvel Rewind tomorrow. Hawkeye episode 4 or 5?
5.
Yeah. Oh, I'm thrown off by the first 2.
This
yeah.
is the penultimate episode.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna let everybody say bye and where you can find them online. I'll start with you, Brian.
Thought you were literally just making us say bye individually.
No.
Yeah, Be a Valsina on Twitter and with Jake on A Certain Point of View. If you want to talk movies and Schmodown and that stuff. And you can find me on the Whiskey Jedi too.
No, you can't.
Oh, Brian's making an appearance?
Ooh.
No, he's never invited me.
You've been on
That's
one.
not true. We've
No,
been
I've
on it
never-
once together, Brian. We unboxed some Star Wars stuff.
Yep.
Remember?
Yep, and that's Brian just
yeah.
rescinded all of his offers ever for the Whiskey Jedi.
That's fine. I was excited when Jake asked me to talk about Thrawn, and then it just never happened.
Yeah.
Well,
All right,
don't be mad about
Gio,
it.
what you got going on, man?
Well,
Everybody
first
knows.
off, I want to recommend this audiobook if anybody hasn't listened to it. I highly recommend it. It's been my life. It's called Will. So check that out. It's a great book.
Thank you.
But you guys can find me on here, obviously, tomorrow, Marvel Rewind. I'll be sober. And you can find me on Fandom United. I do random stuff on there. I got some video game reactions on there. Wonder Woman game. I called it 18 months ago. I called it. And yeah, just happy to be here finally. I mean, tonight was. Anyways.
You good,
Bunch
Gio?
of-
You good, man? Good.
And Jake Berlin.
Here every day of the week, certain point of view, and then the Whiskey Jedi. Yeah, I'm gonna have an episode actually coming out tomorrow. Maybe talking a little more Spider-Man, maybe talking a little Star Wars. Join me there probably in the evening time, which I'll throw up the logo since I threw up the logo for everything else. There it is, nice and cool.
That looks familiar.
But yeah, so there we go. At Qui-Gon Jake on Twitter. 2 N's. Someone else took before I did.
There you go.
Yeah,
and you
now
can
you're
find
gonna
me
get
on Twitter at JacobBarley824. And also, if you play fantasy football or NFL fan, I have another YouTube channel called First Round Fantasy. It is the fantasy playoffs. Come talk with us. We'll be on tomorrow
I
night
didn't make the playoffs.
about
Boo.
6:30 p.m. So you should have listened to an episode then, Brian. Then you
I
would've
did.
made the
I listened to
playoffs.
all of them.
Wow. Yeah, right. Also, check out my other YouTube channel called Off the Grid, a Power Rangers podcast. I just did an unboxing of my 6-pack Power Rangers sideshow figures. It was so much fun. Really cool stuff, especially the weapons. So go
They're
check
all
that
behind
out.
you.
Yes, Gio.
Jacob, you got to do a news video clip, something on that Power Rangers news.
There's
And
not
Brian-
enough Power Rangers news.
And Brian, I can't wait to kick your ass in the next trivia because I owe
For
you.
which one? For what? Oh, you
You
mean
beat me.
actual trivia. Got it. I thought you meant a specific one.
You beat me, and I think about it every night before bed.
And Stardew, stay tuned. I'll let you know about that probably next Tuesday. We'll try to get an episode in before the year ends. But yes, please subscribe to Apocaflix Movies everywhere. You can find us on all social media platforms. We do this show, Apocaflix Now, every Tuesday at 7:30 Pacific time, not prime time, but it can be
7:30.
prime time.
We do that 7.
If you
7
guys,
7 p.m.
Oh.
prime time.
I got the time wrong again. Anyways, peace out. We'll see you guys tomorrow and next week. Bye-bye.